Oh my God, we're finally live. We made it, Ed.
Yo,
I
that was
know.
intense.
I know. You know, this
That was
is
super intense.
right.
But
All this for passwords, and everybody wants. Oh, look, it's giving me Ed is live on Instagram.
yeah, let's
Yeah,
go. What's up, Instagram? Who's on
I
Instagram
know.
right now? Who's tuning in? Let's see.
Um,
I have to open up my window. I'm
I
live
know.
now.
I
So
think I am live as well.
I gotta get my glasses on because we're gonna be doing some reading today.
That's cute.
I gotta make sure I can see because from far away I cannot.
I know.
Cannot see. I'm nearsighted.
Oh, I can see from far. I can't see from near. So we're
So you're
opposite.
farsighted.
Far
Yeah,
side.
I'm nearsighted.
All right.
Got my cup of OJ right here, fresh OJ.
No, nothing for me. I had enough coffee and headaches this morning. It's fine. I'm glad to be back, guys.
Yo, Gigi,
Oh,
you were in France?
you know I was in France.
Of course I know you were in France, but do the people know you were in France? Yeah,
Everybody,
they know you were in France. We did a live while you were in
yeah,
France.
with my silly sister. I was actually last week, guys. I was just off the plane. I
Yeah.
flew overnight to Amsterdam, changed a plane in the morning to Luxembourg. My sister came and picked me up. We went to some whatever restaurant and drove back another couple of hours. And here, it was just on time for me to go live with you, Ed. You see how much dedication
Yo,
is that?
super dedicated. I would have been a mess.
I was a mess. I was a big mess. No sleep, nothing. It's all right. It's all right. I own it. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then I apologize for last week. It was a little bit more difficult. When you go home, you always have to deal with personal stuff. So, but anyway,
It happens. It's
yeah,
okay.
I'm glad to be back.
I'm glad you're back.
Overall, guys, we are very blessed in America.
Yeah, that's how you feel.
Yeah. Let's count our blessing. Let's be grateful.
America.
Let's be grateful for what we have. Okay, let's be grateful for what, even though, like the freedom we still have, the opportunities we still have, the peace we have within the country. Let's be grateful for that, even if there are a little bit of disagreement politically, but overall, and crap with, immigration, whatever you call it, education, all this and that, crime. But overall, we are, and my lights are falling off, but we are very, very lucky. It's going to be 38 years or 37 years. I left France, and I'm seeing how Europe is really slowly, it's not good. Not good at all. It's okay.
Well,
yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm glad you're back.
I know. And then, market trends. Let's talk about that today. Ed and I, we sort of wanted to discuss this based on some of the conversations we had with, me with other agents, and you understanding nowadays, like how many years you've been in real estate now? 5?
6.
Ooh, you're a veteran. So 6 6 years.
Even I choke when I say it.
No, 6 years, and I'm very proud to say that you really got a grasp of that industry. You really got, because I know you since your first day in real estate, and really, really proud of how like your journey and how you grasp this whole industry, the market trends, and how to navigate within the good market, bad markets, and how it does not really affect you because you're really thriving in these difficult times. So yeah, you made mama proud.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Gigi, that means a lot to me.
oh, it's
I'm like,
you were
there from the get. You were there from the beginning of time of
Yeah.
real estate with Ed.
You made it.
Um,
You and Priscilla really made it. It's good. It's really really good. Knowing that there is such a high percentage of people not being able to make it. A lot of the
mm,
times because they don't want to put in the sweat equity, or they're scared, or they didn't get the memo.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
interesting the process that you go through, and it's true. I know we all want a lot of things, but it really clicked and dawned on me the other day that it's just we have to stay consistent on it.
yeah, yeah,
Period. You know,
yeah. But
but
again, I mean, I'm like reflecting always on your journey. I'm like, yeah, you're making mama proud. It's like, good job. I mean, really, really good job. And I know the road ahead is going to be even better. And that's it. You're on your way, you
yep,
know, on the way to much, much bigger things, you know?
nice, Gigi.
Yeah. You,
Thank
it
you for that.
had to be said. Come on. I mean,
I
despite
appreciate it.
some of the backlash I get from some people, hey, you know what?
Yo,
I'm team Ed.
yo, Fernando, let's go. I haven't seen this guy in a while. Fernando, I hope you're doing good, my brother. Appreciate you
Fernando is
too,
doing
man.
excellent. Actually, Fernando should actually put in the comments the good stuff he's doing. He's back on the radio.
Oh, let's go. I was just about to mention that, man.
I know.
And Fernando has that radio voice.
Oh, he does. He
He
does.
had heavily has it,
Yeah,
man. So
yeah,
good luck, Fernando. I hope it all works out for you,
yeah,
brother.
yeah. All right. So let's talk about our neck of the wood market trends, because we always
Market
think
trends.
it's like, oh, this is New York market. It's like one blanket real estate market, like price behaving the same way all across the board or the nation and so on and so forth. And it's definitely not the case.
Yeah.
And we have like little bubbles per even zip code and sometimes some sub neighborhoods.
Yep.
And we really wanted to, this is probably more for the public out there. Um, More for sellers and buyers to understand our thought process, and that we don't necessarily want to fight you on those things. 'Cause yesterday I was speaking to an agent who was doing a CMA for a seller, and
Hmm.
in one of the neighborhood we're going to study today, and
Yeah.
the sellers wanted over $100,000 than
Oh,
what
so when you say over 100,000, you're saying like
than
what the
what the
market
market
price?
can bear. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So now you have to have those conversations with the sellers, and really like put out all your tools and your stats and try to, and I understand there is a big emotional value or whatever, and you
Yes,
think,
there
you
always
hear
is.
stuff, you think it's going one way, and then you got to be very very careful by not miss the mark when you hit the market, because if
Yeah.
you're way overpriced, nobody's going to want to look at your stuff. No one.
Yeah, so for those of you guys tuning in, what we were thinking about doing is maybe once a week, every month, we're gonna go and break down.
Maybe, yeah, if we think it's
Maybe,
good, if it's
yeah.
worth talking about it. Maybe not
I
once
think
a
it
month. Let's
is.
see,
But what I would open up to you guys is this: if you want us to break down your neighborhood, your market, an area you're covering, if you need some assistance with that, throw it in the comment box. We'd love to put it on our list. We could definitely break it down. Um, So we'd like to do that, kind of cover the areas.
Yeah.
Why not? I think it's informative for all sellers and agents if you're not paying attention to the trends.
And I think it's very important for you as an agent, especially with the way this market is going, the way the industry is going. And I think you, the days where you could spread yourself really thin geographically wise
Yeah.
are over, and I think you're going to need to become more and more of a neighborhood expert and really work on what is called, because I'm not going to use the old terms, I don't even know if it's politically correct, but the areas of development, what used to be called a farm. So at least there is one thing you need to know is the neighborhood that you want to expand your business in. Therefore, you're going to need to know what's going on in those neighborhoods, the micro
Hmm.
trend. Everything is micro, like you're going to be a hyper localist, so you're just going to go and narrow down and everything. Like everybody is going to become a specialist, especially if you're a listing agent. Buyers reps are going to have to become specialists as well, as of July. So they cannot be generalists. They're going to have to tighten their games as well. Anyway, so we're going to use just, I guess.
What area you want to start with then?
Do you want to do Valley Stream? Because it's quite interesting.
All right, let me just share my screen real quick.
Are you going to share your screen? No problem.
You want me to do it, or you want to share your screen?
Yeah, go do it. Go do it. I'll, if anything, I'll grab something.
Here. So you want to go for residential or condo?
What you doing right now? You're just doing a search. I would go first with the market stat to look at the behavior on the listing. Go on the listing tab, on the market stats, just to look at the behavior of the neighborhood over the last, let's say, beginning of the year, like 3 months or 6 months or whatever you want to do. It's not going to be much difference from 3 to 6 months.
You want to do 6 months?
Sure.
Or a year?
No, year's too long. 6 months. Let's go with what appraisers would use, and so on and so forth. No, don't save it.
All right, I'm going to zoom in.
Yeah, let's start with that. All right, look at this. So the line in red on top is really the total listings that are available on MLS right now. Okay, so you do have there is a big need in getting new inventory. Definitely a big need, because you can see it's been since last year. The market has not opened up. You're still getting less and less listings. It's kind of bad. What's interesting as well is you're also seeing that we're struggling with the number of closings, only 22. Okay, closings, I guess, not a lot. Absorption time within a period of studying this particular town, Valley Stream, it would take 1.6 months to sell the whole available inventory. Not a long time.
What's available right now?
It's available. The 35.
What's available right now? I'm saying
59 listings. And on average, they would all sell, like within 1.6 months. And that's an amazing seller's market.
Whoa.
Oh, okay. Right. So you're seeing absorption time on the first little tier, I guess, quadrant, whatever it is. Yeah. What's interesting, look at the average selling price in blue. So it's all merged between the listing price, and we're not going to look at median selling price, but average selling price in dark blue. And it has somewhat increased. If you look at, if you want to scroll over from April 23rd, 2023 on, yes. So average selling price was $597. And then where are we right now? If you're going to go to March, end of March.
$694, so almost 100,000.
Yeah. Yeah. But what you could see, like, back in January, February, when you're going to go look at the supply and demand, we did not have enough supply. It was below in the negative mark. The demand hasn't really changed outside of last year in August, probably when the rates were going up. So on this, that's to be an indicator that be very, very careful with the price. Although it's been increasing at $100,000 almost within the last 12 months. All right. The good.
So look, the average listing price is 711,000. But it's interesting that the selling price, average selling price is $675.
Yeah, $30,000 less. Yeah. Yeah. And then so what's interesting, what could keep the price not necessarily going up a lot, but if you're going to go and take a look at the year-over-year comparison all the way at the end, there are not enough active listings from a year ago is 35.87% less than last year. That's a lot. That's crazy. That's like, I mean, you put your house on the market, you price it well, you're gonna have bidding war, people lining up to go and see the house. Number of contracts are 11.9%, almost 12%, and number of close all the way down as well, year to year comparison. We minus 21.5%. So that's, to me, couple of things. On the number of contracts, I think we still have, and the close, I think we're having a little bit of an affordability issue. All right. We still have not enough demand, prices on the rise. There's been, like you have a nice price increase, but you're selling everything, but I think it's lagging a little bit as far as how the contracts are going through. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I would be watching affordability at some point here, and I would be watching the price. I don't see it going up that much this year. I don't think so. And you know what? If you do, you want to go on Market Report Generator to open another window on your MLS if you can, all the way up. Close that.
Well, I'm not gonna be able to share it and do it. I'm gonna do it on a separate screen. And
yeah, whatever. I mean, just open up.
I can.
Or close that off and just go back to your info center, and we can.
Give me a second. I'm already here. So you wanted to go to?
Yeah, I want to show you what I'm looking at too, and I really want to show the public what we're looking at and how we understand what's going on in the neighborhood.
What was the tab you wanted me to pull up?
You're gonna go under MLS links on your info center and look for Market Report Generator.
Okay, so I wanted to know. So I'm opening it up on another window. Just give me a second.
Yeah. So real estate agents.
Can you see it?
Yes. Uncheck co-op and condos. We don't want to see that. We'll look at it later in that same time and put in Valley Stream. And let's take a look at one family, or click on the number of family and just put any. So at least that will give us the mother, daughters, or whatever it is. And then let's take a look at average selling price, average report variable. Yeah.
For 12 months or 6 months?
12 months, 6 months is pretty much the same. It's going to give us anywhere up to 24 months. And a look at not only the price month over month, and I don't want to bore anybody, but actually, if you want to go down, take a look at that. Look at those little squares, those little bars on the left of the screen. Okay, you're seeing a steady increase in price from 2 years ago at 6. You see, this is where it's a little bit different as far as the numbers. Now, right here, you have 614 average, I would say, sales price, up to 676 this year. What was it? It was the same thing when we did the market statistics, right? Maybe a little bit lower because it's the days are a little bit different. Yeah.
They're saying our average price for, give me 1 second, I have it right here.
It was 675 and change. Yeah.
Yes, 675 average selling price.
Yeah. So there is a little bit of an increase. You're seeing like year over year, but it's not like by 20% or 10% or whatever everything is saying. And you're going to see the percentage change month over month on the right-hand side. So from last year at the end of April to this year at the end of April, you do have basically like $18,000, which is like a 3% change. Okay. During the winter month, it's a little bit lower. And of course, from last year, September, when we started going into the high interest rate, that's basically was an indicator of the price increase being a little bit softer, And then I like to also use the bottom graph of the page. It's look at this. It's going to give you basically a good indication of where price have been, how price have been behaving since the last 2 years. All right. It's on the up and up, but still being careful. Very, very careful.
Yeah.
So when somebody is gonna go and tell you, well, I have this house and we did a little bit of renovations a couple of years ago. We changed the kitchen, we changed the floor, we changed the boiler. We didn't do the roof, we didn't change the windows. We sold the house for same thing a couple of years ago for 600, and now we want 850. You're like, oh, yeah, no. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I think that's where, you know, us as agents kind of drop the ball, right? Because we're
yeah,
so hooked on getting the listing,
yeah.
right? So in a sense, we want the listing and we're willing to do whatever it takes. And if the seller says, well, I want this price, in the back of our head, it's kind of like, all right, fine, you know, fine. But I think that if you're doing that, one of the advantages you should kind of take on is getting a letter of reducing that price within 30 days or even 2 weeks. You know what
Do
I mean?
you even agree? Don't you think it's like even almost like to me misrepresentation to even accept taking a
That's
list?
what I was gonna kind of jump on.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
it kind of is. But what I believe is this, right? Um, we're all going to be at different levels, right? Someone would fight and say, no, I wouldn't take it. But for those of you who might, what I would recommend is you have to show them the truth. You can't just tell them that, yeah, they're going to get that number. You know, so these market reports, market generator, it all works. But at the end of the day, they're still going to be the boss. But you got to tell them up front, yeah, look, I understand that's the number you want. However, this is what it's showing. If we're on the market for over 30 days, people automatically assume that there's an issue with the property. So imagine if we're going past the 30-day mark, 60-day mark, right? Like it's going to get crazy. Your property's going to get stale. So if we price high, I'm just letting you know nothing is selling for that in the area.
right.
So it isn't going to make sense. You're going to be on the market long.
Yeah, I don't want to go over, like looking at the stats of how many we're not today is not the subject. We're talking about
No,
trends,
I
but
know.
you're still gonna have a lot of properties that are expiring
Yeah.
in Valley Stream, and I've seen it
Should we
because
pull that up?
either you could if you're gonna look at Valley Stream, one to two family house and listed last 365 days, you
Gotcha.
see that
Valley Stream.
you're gonna have
You
a
said
whole,
1 to 2 family, right?
yeah, or one or whatever you want, just as an
Well, no,
indication.
I want to include the mother daughters. That's why.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
T minus 365, right?
yeah.
Okay. Give me a second.
And then we can change that screen. You're gonna see that you still have like considerable amount of here you go, perfect example. Let me put my glasses. Grandma needs glasses right now.
Yeah. But
Um,
you're farsighted. No.
uh,
There you go. Can you see it?
yeah. So look at the number of expireds.
Expires 45. 45 expireds. Hold on.
In
That's
I know in
look, taken off the market. 16 of them were
I
taken off the
know
market. 16
withdrawn.
was withdrawn. So that's probably the same from taking out. They're probably the same. 16.
Taken out the TOM, taken out the market, like temporary
Yeah.
off of the market, withdrawn. You have
This is withdrawn.
some contracts canceled, 9. You have expired, 45. So you still have, to me, it's kind of crazy because if you're going to look at the high numbers, look at the high numbers in list price.
Should I
One,
leave it as one family? Because I put it as 1 and 2s.
it's fine. $1.5 million. Okay, granted, that might be North Valley Stream, but still,
Yeah.
that's
Taxes of 40,000.
insane. I know.
And look how many days it was on the market.
Exactly.
Almost 200 days on the market. That breaks down to what? I mean,
This
over a
this
year now,
is
over half. What is
this
it?
this is over half. This is basically
Over
almost
6 months, 7
7 months.
months,
7 months. So,
6, 7 months. What takes other properties to sell? Look,
but you see, no, you see what it
or
says.
nothing.
So it's gonna bring the days on the market on an average because of those super high price properties that are
Correct.
being on the market for more than 7 months and do nothing. It's gonna bring your days on the market, average days on the market, to 42. But when in reality, look at the median number properties. The median is when you take the lowest number and the highest number with all the property, and you grab the price that is in the middle. You grab the entry that is right in the middle. If you have 7 entries, you're going to take the third or fourth entry, and this is going to be your median, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so right now you're seeing that property barely stay on the market for a month.
Yeah.
You know, but
Anywhere
you
between
have
16 and 29 days.
yeah, yeah. But too many. Look at original price 719, and sold price recently 687.
Yep.
It's way too many, and things are selling, but it's not. And Valley Stream is big because Valley Stream expands from Elmont and then goes down all the way to Five Town, which Valley Stream has a section that is in Five Town as well. So it's a big
Yeah.
area, So you got to be extremely careful. Things go, very very quickly or not,
Mm-hmm.
right? Do you want to take a look at those co-ops because you live in a co-op in Valley Stream, right?
I do.
Right, and co-ops have been like they're a little bit slower as far as days on the market. They're staying a little bit longer, but because it's also the price point that is much lower, right? It's more interesting for buyers.
Are we doing just available or yeah,
Just
right? Just
unavailable as well.
unavailable as well. All right, hold on.
I mean, I would go back to the market statistics. Let's not even go because when it's gonna go, I pretty much have a good idea on click Valley Stream. Yeah, last 6 months, last 2 months doesn't really matter. Okay. Oh, interesting. Number of listing up and down, up and down, up and down, and you see here the listing. Okay, so you have only 2 within this last month, like 3 new listing, total listings 4, 1 closed listings. So you never have a lot of, because how many co-op and condo complexes you have in Valley? Yeah, 55 and over condos.
Yes, there's that one. I think there's one of those in Valley Stream.
Then there is the complex where you live in, which is a co-op
Correct.
complex. So there are 2. 2
And then I think there's one more co-op.
Where?
But I don't know where it is. It comes up whenever I look it up on
Okay.
I think there's one more. But
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, look at the so first of all, very very few listings come on the market, and the average selling price, and that's a little bit higher because that's going to include the 55 and over condos and other condos that are available. But you can see the price really has actually decreased over the last year. If you're going to roll over the left side of that chart, April 2023, it's going to give you the price. It was 449 and now we're at 399. Right? So I granted not too many listings are selling, but they're staying it's very soft as far as the price behavior. All right, let's take a look at the supply and demand, that chart. So definitely not enough supply. And guess what? The demand went up. It's a little bit going on the way down, but there is more demand than last year. And all this because of the price point. Definitely that's the price point and affordability.
100%.
Yeah. And right now, take a look at this. 1 month. Everything that is available is going to barely take a month to sell. So if you guys are interested in buying a co-op or a condo in a town that is really like at the border of Queens, okay, where your taxes are still really, really good,
Hmm.
especially in your
And
co-op.
parking is available.
Yeah, oh my God, parking is available. You don't have to fight for even street
Yo,
parking.
I pay for a parking space that I don't even park in.
Because you can park in front of
Because
your
I can,
door, right?
yeah, there's parking everywhere, man.
I
But
know.
I am noticing that again, it's like everything else, right? There's an increase of people coming in. There's an increase of traffic
Yeah.
occurring. When you start to notice the road work, they look like the road is opening up, things of that nature, you can tell there's a lot of people coming into the town. So I mean,
I'm gonna tell you, my daughter bought with her husband and in 2020,
uh-huh.
and they
Where are they buying? You're talking
oh
about
by they bought the house by Alden Terrace, not too far from you on
okay,
the other side.
okay. Yeah.
Um,
In 2020,
yeah,
ooh, they have equity.
in like 510 or something like
Yeah, they
ridiculous,
have equity.
and completely, and it was an investor's house. It was renovated. I know.
Yo, crazy. It would
And
still
when
hold
you
up to market value right now.
Oh my God, the thing went up by like it's yeah 675. I mean, brand new would be close to 700 right now.
700,
And
yeah, close to
yeah,
700.
because they did a lot of improvement, in the
Of
backyard,
course.
and they turned the garage into a man cave and stuff, and
Nice.
like a
Not a
summer,
she shed?
summer like a he shed,
Like,
landscaping, and then changed some stuff inside the house and made it really, really nice. And the whole family is there,
awesome.
and then you can see the quality of life
Yep.
is much better than what we have in Queens, and it's really close to Queens. You're like right there, like
Super
yeah,
close.
yeah,
You're 20 minutes away from North Queens, South Queens,
yeah,
Central Queens.
yeah.
As long as there's no traffic. If
No,
there's
but you know
traffic, we're
what?
hitting
Look,
it.
if you're gonna go from Jackson Heights to Forest Hills, you're taking the Grand Central. What do you think happens? It's still gonna
Hit
take you
traffic.
45 minutes at 4 o'clock. So it's the same. It's the exact same thing.
Oh no, I don't disagree. But
Right.
the equity was there. Yeah, I bought my place in 2020 also, and I was because now I have home bot. I am I went ahead, did the markets, like I went
Yeah.
and pulled market reports. I added
Yeah.
all the information, and we're at a 60% equity in our property right
It's
now.
amazing. And I think you guys, as real estate agents, you need to know those numbers. You need to educate yourself so you can educate the consumer. And therefore you're going to be able to, like, to me, just the case of the co-op condos in Valley Stream. Like your co-op, how much did you buy that co-op for? That one bedroom? One
135.
and how much is right now? What, 250?
There's one pending. There's one pending at 265.
Right. And
So it's almost
yes,
at 300, I would say.
right. Yeah. And then you don't have the local law problems and stuff. So the maintenance, there was no maintenance increase as they've been in the boroughs, right? And your maintenance is still decent.
Yo, what I will say is when everyone was getting assessments,
Yeah.
we were getting reverse assessments.
Oh my God. So you
And
see what I'm saying?
and
So
I think they ended up refinancing during the pandemic, which they got lower interest rate. So it like honestly, like the financials, in my opinion, are pretty good.
So I mean, to me, like knowing all these, I would, like when you have a client that is having problems with the debt to income ratios and
Mhm.
qualification on one bedroom in Queens, depending on their case, why not offer them like a different product
Yeah.
that is of equal or even better quality, because you still have the townhouse set up, and it's less crowded. You still have good schools. the schools around there. I mean, I go to the, I can see what's going on. This is the Long Island High School with the sports fields where people go. Actually, the
Yeah, they don't
residents
have that in Queens too
I
much.
know the residents go and play tennis and use the
Oh
track
yeah.
and field and the
Yeah,
foot and the
that park is
baseball
nice, right? They
and
actually
the
just
park.
finished they just
Yeah,
finished working on that park. They worked on the road, the track, the road that goes, the path that goes through the parks, because that's a pretty big park,
you want to ride your
Hutchison Park.
bike? You want to go and just ride your bike for like an hour? It's amazing. I
Yeah,
mean, there is,
we take walks over there. We take
yeah,
walks, we stroll through the park and
yeah,
walk
we do
back
that
home.
with the kids. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. So
No,
that all those knowledge of different pockets of markets within your areas, because we are exposed to this. You don't have to know every single neighborhood. But
mhm,
the neighborhood where you work the most, I would advise for everyone to really know what the macro trends are, because nothing is across the board. We won't have time to explore another town, but
no.
it would show you that same thing. Prices. We wanted to use East Elmhurst, like co-op are even completely different than in Valley Stream. They're struggling a little bit. You're getting a lot of board denial
Yeah, a
or
lot of
things
those.
happen. You won't even believe I'm having. Oh, yeah, that's why I need you.
Uh,
Ed and I were selling at Talbot Street those co-ops.
mhm.
He had a listing on the second floor. I had a listing on the first floor. We're ready to close next week. And guess what, Ed? The buyer is lost his job last
God, I went through
yesterday.
a transaction like that, man.
And I'm like, what? We're like
Mother
talking
flower.
about running the numbers for the buyers and stuff, and bam, buyer loses his job. It's anyway frustrating,
Sucks.
well, yeah, the seller is super frustrated because this is the second buyer.
Oh my
I
God.
know, I know, I know, I know, I know. It's not great.
Well, I do have a list of buyers. I did have some people that reached out. I just got to go tap back into that. So
Yeah,
maybe I might have somebody for you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good. And the good thing is, get to know your competition or other agents, because again, you never know. In cases like Ed and I, we were like competitors, right? Because we were listing at the same time.
Correct.
When you went in contract a little bit before me because you had the listing a little bit before me, but we do still have a pool of customers, and it's like, and why not? I mean, I'm gonna rely on him to help me a little bit if I can find someone before we put the unit back on the market. It would be amazing because I'm really looking out for that seller right now. It's not
Of
about my
course.
pocket. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you try to do. And if you, like you said, if you establish those type of relationships with
Mm-hmm.
other
Another agent.
realtors,
Yeah.
look, it's not necessarily the competition like that. Look, we know each other. We're in different brokerages, but hey, if I could present a buyer to purchase her property or vice
Mhm.
versa, we're all winning at the same time.
Right. And if we could schedule like open houses at the same time and stuff like
Hmm.
that, or even at work, sometimes I'm even seeing why not even propose to an agent who's doesn't even live in the area. You've seen a lot of listings where people are in Suffolk County and taking listings right here in Queens. It's like, do
Yeah,
yourself a favor, like do run an open house, have your name out there, and help that listing agent. That listing agent is definitely not going to prospect the area. They just got the listing because his family member or friend just gave it to them.
yeah. And chances are that they're not going to work for it. And because of the
No,
distance alone, you think they're going
yeah,
to want to commute
yeah.
to get there? Well, I mean, look,
What
to each his own.
what are those photos? What is that?
It's Valley
Valley
Stream,
Stream?
since we were talking about
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's nice. That's
Just figured
nice.
I'd throw it on in the background.
I know it's like, so like, look at those alternative towns that still have like a lot of value to offer, whether it's on residential or even the co-op condos, and study that a little bit and see where you could place some other buyers, like compare apples to apples,
Yeah,
you know
100%.
yeah, because sometimes the buyer may know or may not know. And I'm not saying it's not a question of stirring the buyer, but for, again, value and what you're getting for your money, why not? Why not?
And you're
Right?
still close enough. and you still get mistaken to be a part of Queens somehow.
Yeah, and please
doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, just be careful. It's not a stirring thing. Stay. Follow the fair housing rules, and you're all good.
100%.
I know. I had to remind that.
Listen, I can't. You know what's funny? I feel like I could talk about the neighborhoods because I lived there. Like I lived in Jamaica, just as much as some people might have their feelings about it. Like I lived there, I mean, when I grew up, I moved over into Briarwood, but like in my opinion, I've said this too, in my opinion, Jamaica is like the final frontier for like the 5 boroughs because of the fact that there's so much land available with the properties that you're buying them on.
Yes.
You get me?
Yes.
So that's that right now. And then there's a bunch of developments that took place in Jamaica, so there's a lot.
Yeah, or even Cambria Heights, Springfield Gardens, Laurelton, amazing, strictly residential, no rental buildings, nothing, like strictly residential, working, like what do you call, like
well, funny story in St. Albans and Cambria Heights, those were funny enough, those were actually neighborhoods where they were considered to be like high income earners, but like the urban community for what they called it. But you had a lot of professionals living in these neighborhoods, doctors, attorneys. You had a lot of people living in this type of neighborhood.
I would not discount those neighborhoods.
Yeah. What I would not at all. And I mean, this ties into all the crazy madness that was happening before when people were making sure, like the steering and the targeting and all that stuff. So it kind of, I guess, occurred this way. But I would never sleep on these neighborhoods. I'm telling you, you actually have space.
You have at least a 40 by 100 lot.
Yeah, you're close to the airports. You're close to major highways. You can get to like deep, so like Nassau, Suffolk County quickly from there. You can get into Queens from there. But hey, to each his own.
I know. On this note, have a great weekend, everybody.
God, and
it's Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Oh, wait! Tomorrow is May the 4th. Be with you.
Oh my God!
Tomorrow is May the 4th. Be with you, and then Sunday is Cinco. How is Sunday Cinco de Mayo? It's Sunday,
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. Okay. We got open houses taking place in Howard Beach by appointment only.
Yeah.
Apparently, we can't host open houses, so by appointment only. So let me know.
Okay. All right, guys. That's it. Enjoy the weekend, and until next week, see you soon.
See you soon, everybody. Adios.
Right. And thank you for those beautiful views of Valley Stream. Are those your photos?
You know what? No, these are not my photos. This is on Google. And you know what? Maybe we should just leave it up there and take ourselves off. Okay. Adios, amigo.
Bye.